Hello, Professor. You're really on the move today. A lot to get done, I take it? I'm happy to help. Tell me, is there anything I can do to lighten your load a bit? Oh, surely there must be something. Don't be shy about asking for help. We're practically siblings, after all, cut from the same cloth. I was raised by Gerald just as you were, so we should have no trouble getting along. Huh? Did I not mention that? How thoughtless! What an embarrassing gaffe! My parents died when I was small, and I came to live in the monastery. It was an aimless existence. But sometimes a knight would pass by, wearing magnificent armor. That knight was Gerald. And the first time he laid eyes on me, he made me his squire. What was he thinking, huh? No kidding. I don't think I'll ever fully understand his logic. Later, I heard that the squire preceding me had died of a terrible plague. I looked a bit like him and was about the same age, so Gerald thought me a suitable replacement. A little nutty, old Gerald, there's no doubt about that. Quite a character. All that was more than 30 years ago. How time flies. That's right. I wasn't even 15 years old. Well, Gerald hardly seems to have aged since then. In fact, over drinks he once told me, perhaps that's a story for another day. At any rate, that's Gerald for you. One of a kind. I don't think there's anyone else quite like him. Right. Well, now you've heard my whole story. I hope that you understand now why I feel such a strong sense of attachment to you. If you're ever in a bind, just give me a holler. I'll help however I can. Indeed, indeed. Well, I'll let you get back to it. But truly, if I can take anything off your plate, don't hesitate to let me know. Hello, Professor. What brings you here? Fancy a bit of fishing? You know, I can hardly go fishing without thinking of old Gerald. He and I would just sit here, casting our lines again and again. I'm no better at it now than I was then. Not a single nibble. Just like your father. You know all the tricks of the fisherman's trade. I was hopeless at it, but he was a master. In the time it took me to catch one fish, he could fill his basket to the brim. You know, talking to you, I'm feeling very nostalgic. Why don't you join me? We can trade some stories about the old man. We spoke before about how Gerald never seemed to age, right? Once, when he was drunk, he let the secret slip. He said he'd had an infusion of crest-bearing blood, and it had greatly extended his life. Well, we'd both been drinking. I figured he was joking, so I just laughed it off. Then I asked him his age. He said he'd stopped counting after he hit 100. And he was telling the truth. In those 20 years he was away, he didn't age a bit. An incredible person, to be sure. And I probably don't know the half of it. Actually, I'd like to ask you something about Gerald, if you don't mind. When Gerald was away from the monastery, what was he like? In other words, he was exactly the same. When he was with the knights, he always found time to go fishing. He was hooked on it, you might say. He'd say there was no greater pleasure in life than sinking his teeth into a fish he'd caught and washing it down with a drink. I have to say, right now, fishing with you, it really takes me back. This feels just like the good old days, when Gerald was sitting alongside me. Ah, there you are. Hello. Oh, yes. Apologies. I'm struggling with some unpleasant thoughts. Since the war began, I've ended so many lives. You and your students got your hands dirty as well. Nobody forced you all to join the fight, of course. You did so of your own volition. Still, there must be something very wrong with the world for it to make children into killers. That's true enough. We've all gotten older. Ah, listen to me. I'm sorry for being so glum. Well said. In truth, I don't think any expression will improve my looks. I'm a brute, no matter what face I pull. Ah, you really are just like Geralt. When I was down in the dumps, he'd cheer me up with a playful quip. He gave me his library of jokes, but when I tell one of them, nobody laughs at the punchline. They laugh at me. You, on the other hand, well, you inherited the old man's comic talents. I'm feeling pretty perky now, all thanks to you. I can't stop this war by feeling gloomy about it. Onward, to a brighter future. To tell you the truth, that was another line I picked up from Geralt. He taught me everything about life. He was more important to me than anyone in the world. Apart from you, perhaps. Oh, sure, there's that, but not only that. When I look at you or see you fighting in battle, it's like I'm seeing a sibling. But at the same time, it's like seeing something sacred and powerful. Something I must defend. You're so important to the future of Fodlan, and to me. I promise to continue protecting you with the strength of a knight and the love of a big brother. I guess that makes sense when you consider the age difference between us and my closeness to Geralt. Regardless, in the name of the Captain, I swear to keep you safe. You're welcome to return the favor, should you feel so inclined. Hey, what are you doing here? Waiting for someone? Haha! You've got a knack for rib ticklers, no bones about it. We weren't planning to meet up. Anyway, things seem to have quieted down across all of Fodlan. But we can't slow down now. The work's only just begun. In fact, we'll probably be busier than ever. Ha! You do look quite worn out. But when we've got a little breathing room, I'd like to go fishing with you. We can sit by the water together and idly cast our lines, not a care in the world. It occurs to me, were you really waiting for someone? A little rendezvous, perhaps? Ha! Good for you! You're at that age, after all. Time to settle down. Well, I should get going. I'm sorry, it's just... when it comes to your life, I get emotional, you know? You've done so well. You've persisted through so many obstacles, and you just kept on fighting. I have no doubt Captain Geralt's looking down proudly from heaven right now. And of course, I'm proud of you too. I'm a very proud, big brother. You could have let that one slide. At any rate, let's keep marching forward together. For Fodlan. For the Captain. Of course you can count on me. As long as I live, I'll be your most faithful ally. Hello, Professor. You're really on the move today. A lot to get done, I take it? I'm happy to help. Tell me, is there anything I can do to lighten your load a bit? Oh, surely there must be something. Don't be shy about asking for help. We're practically siblings, after all, cut from the same cloth. I was raised by Gerald just as you were, so we should have no trouble getting along. Huh? Did I not mention that? How thoughtless! What an embarrassing gaffe! My parents died when I was small, and I came to live in the monastery. It was an aimless existence. But sometimes a knight would pass by, wearing magnificent armor. That knight was Gerald. And the first time he laid eyes on me, he made me his squire. What was he thinking, huh? No kidding. I don't think I'll ever fully understand his logic. Later, I heard that the squire preceding me had died of a terrible plague. I looked a bit like him and was about the same age, so Gerald thought me a suitable replacement. A little nutty, old Gerald, there's no doubt about that. Quite a character. All that was more than 30 years ago. How time flies. That's right. I wasn't even 15 years old. Well, Gerald hardly seemed to age at all. In fact, over drinks he once told me, perhaps that's a story for another day. At any rate, that's Gerald for you. One of a kind. I don't think there's anyone else quite like him. Right. Well, now you've heard my whole story. I hope that you understand now why I feel such a strong sense of attachment to you. If you're ever in a bind, just give me a holler. I'll help however I can. Indeed, indeed. Well, I'll let you get back to it. But truly, if I can take anything off your plate, don't hesitate to let me know. Hello, Professor. What brings you here? Fancy a bit of fishing? You know, I can hardly go fishing without thinking of old Gerald. He and I would just sit here, casting our lines again and again. I'm no better at it now than I was then. Not a single nibble. Just like your father. You know all the tricks of the fisherman's trade. I was hopeless at it, but he was a master. In the time it took me to catch one fish, he could fill his basket to the brim. You know, talking to you, I'm feeling very nostalgic. Why don't you join me? We can trade some stories about the old man. We spoke before about how Gerald never seemed to age, right? Once, when he was drunk, he let the secret slip. He said he'd had an infusion of crest-bearing blood, and it had greatly extended his life. Well, we'd both been drinking. I figured he was joking, so I just laughed it off. Then I asked him his age. He said he'd stopped counting after he hit 100. And he was telling the truth. In those 20 years he was away, he didn't age a bit. An incredible person, to be sure. And I probably don't know the half of it. Actually, I'd like to ask you something about Gerald, if you don't mind. When Gerald was away from the monastery, what was he like? In other words, he was exactly the same. When he was with the knights, he always found time to go fishing. He was hooked on it, you might say. He'd say there was no greater pleasure in life than sinking his teeth into a fish he'd caught and washing it down with a drink. I have to say, right now, fishing with you, it really takes me back. This feels just like the good old days, when Gerald was sitting alongside me. Ah, there you are. Hello. Oh, yes. Apologies. I'm struggling with some unpleasant thoughts. Since the war began, I've ended so many lives. You and your students got your hands dirty as well. Nobody forced you all to join the fight, of course. You did so of your own volition. Still, there must be something very wrong with the world for it to make children into killers. That's true enough. We've all gotten older. Ah, listen to me. I'm sorry for being so glum. Well said. In truth, I don't think any expression will improve my looks. I'm a brute, no matter what face I pull. Ah, you really are just like Gerald. When I was down in the dumps, he'd cheer me up with a playful quip. He gave me his library of jokes, but when I tell one of them, nobody laughs at the punchline. They laugh at me. You, on the other hand, well, you inherited the old man's comic talents. I'm feeling pretty perky now, all thanks to you. I can't stop this war by feeling gloomy about it. Onward, to a brighter future. To tell you the truth, that was another line I picked up from Gerald. He taught me everything about life. He was more important to me than anyone in the world. Apart from you, perhaps. Oh, sure, there's that, but not only that. When I look at you or see you fighting in battle, it's like I'm seeing a sibling. But at the same time, it's like seeing something sacred and powerful. Something I must defend. You're so important to the future of Fodlan, and to me. I promise to continue protecting you with the strength of a knight and the love of a big brother. I guess that makes sense when you consider the age difference between us and my closeness to Gerald. Regardless, in the name of the captain, I swear to keep you safe. You're welcome to return the favor, should you feel so inclined. Hey, what are you doing here? Waiting for someone? Haha! You've got a knack for rib ticklers, no bones about it. We weren't planning to meet up. Anyway, things seem to have quieted down across all of Fodlan. But we can't slow down now. The work's only just begun. In fact, we'll probably be busier than ever. Ha! You do look quite worn out. But when we've got a little breathing room, I'd like to go fishing with you. We can sit by the water together and idly cast our lines, not a care in the world. It occurs to me, were you really waiting for someone? A little rendezvous, perhaps? Oh, so who is it then? Someone I know? It is, isn't it? Captain Gerald, listen up. I'll ensure that your daughter is matched with none but the worthiest partner. I'm sorry, it's just... when it comes to your life, I get emotional, you know? You've done so well. You've persisted through so many obstacles, and you just kept on fighting. I have no doubt Captain Gerald's looking down proudly from heaven right now. And of course, I'm proud of you too. I'm a very proud big brother. You could have let that one slide. At any rate, let's keep marching forward together. For Foodland. For the Captain. Of course you can count on me. As long as I live, I'll be your most faithful ally. Your Highness, missing the day's training? How unlike you!
I had intended to train, but this rain is unrelenting.
Yes, it's really coming down out there. Makes it hard to go outside, I suppose. It's pouring so hard, I can't help but feel poorly.
Yes. Quite.
Sorry, that one was pretty bad. I think this weather is putting a damper on my sense of humor.
At any rate, did you need me for something?
Ah, yes. You seem to have the time to spare, so would you help me organize our stock of weapons? You must know a thing or two about weapons, and I bet you're no slouch at physical labor.
Of course, I'd be happy to help. I was just hoping for a useful way to pass the time until the rain lets up.
I appreciate it. I don't know how I do it all on my own. You know, it's great that you're willing to help with this kind of thing. Some nobles are so self-important. You're a real go-getter, Your Highness. Or should I say, your spryness? Maybe that was disrespectful. He's going to lop off my head. He'd better go ahead and do it. I can't bear the silence. Listen, Your Highness, that joke, I didn't mean to...
I just...
Huh?
oh my... I'm sorry, Alois.
Wait, you mean you actually found it funny?
Oh goodness, not at all.
I see.
But when a joke is unfunny to a certain degree, it somehow comes full circle into hilarity.
That's not exactly what I was going for. Still, I don't think I've ever seen you laugh so loudly.
It's true. Laughter is not one of my strong suits. I actually can't recall the last time I laughed like that. Alois, perhaps you should focus your efforts on honing this comedic talent of yours.
This talent? Is that your way of saying I'm no good at telling jokes?
My apologies. I should refrain from commenting on the quality of your jokes. What's important is that they bring joy, right?
That does it. Next time I make you laugh, I'm gonna make you admit it was a good quality joke. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to cook up some top-notch rib ticklers.
Alois, what about organizing the weapons? Oh, he's gone, isn't he?
We should have been more careful. Those monsters really got the better of us.
I must apologize, Alois. If only I had paid closer attention.
No, it's all right. We've got more important things to do than dwell on our mistakes.
It hurts. I don't want to die yet.
Ugh. How did it come to this?
Indeed. With morale this low, we may yet have trouble making it back to the monastery.
We weren't expecting that attack, after all. It gave us a nasty shock. So we can't just leave. The Knights could use some inspiration. Listen up, everyone. We're going to carve ourselves a safe path back home to Garreg Mach Monastery. But first, I want you all to hear me out.
Alois, what exactly are you...
A long time ago, Captain Geralt and I defended a small village from a band of thieves. After we defeated those hoodlums, the captain observed how ugly they were. Such hideousness ought to be illegal, he said. If it were up to me, I would have banned it. Then he walked up to the leader of the village and handed over a big bag of coins. A gift from the thieves, he said. They were dying to give it to you.
Sir, I'm not sure this is the time for...
Oh, Alois, how do you come up with those jokes? That last one was positively hilarious.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just a natural.
This is... I don't even know what to think right now.
I guess we should just join in.
Dimitri, just the man I was looking for. I wanted to thank you for your help.
My help? I'm not sure what you mean.
Don't tell me you've forgotten your help when the monsters attacked.
Ah, you mean the day you came up with those terribly hilarious jokes?
When you put it like that, I feel like you're the one who's kidding. Even I knew those jokes were awful. I was trying to think on my feet to raise the soldiers' spirits.
Well, you certainly succeeded. Our journey home was much easier as a result. As for myself, I am not much of an orator. I could never have done the same in that situation.
You're the only reason the gags didn't fall flat. If you hadn't started laughing when you did.
Well, I admit the jokes themselves were perhaps not your best work. But there is no harm in that. Even when you stumble, your good humor brightens everyone's mood and wins their trust.
Yeah? You think? I never thought about it like that. But if you say so, maybe I do have a knack for this.
As one who is bound to lead, I could stand to learn a lot from you. I am often told by both friends and subordinates that I am... without humor. Alois, if you would be so kind, could you teach me to tell jokes?
Sure, I'm happy to help. If you want to be as lousy a joker as I am, you could surely find a better teacher somewhere else. In the stables, for example.
No. I would like to learn from you, Alois.
I see. Well, I guess I can't say no. I hope you're ready to become a wizard of wit.
I will endeavor to be a good student.
Very good. That's what I like to hear. Soon you'll be cracking wise like there's no tomorrow. Everyone will think you're a pun in the neck. Okay, I must drop off these papers with Bernadetta. I'm not sure how to go about this. She's as timid as a mouse, and that's when speaking to people her own age. She'll likely scream the second she sees me. Maybe this is a mistake. All that noise is going to frighten the other students.
Hi. Can I help you?
Ah, hello. I have some business with Bernadetta. I wasn't sure how to approach her.
I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, but okay. What business do you have with Bernie?
I was supposed to deliver this, you see. Perhaps you can take it off my hands?
Right. Thanks for taking the time.
No trouble at all. Here it is.
Thanks. I'm going to head in now, if that's okay.
Whew, that's quite a relief. How kind of Bernadetta's friend, making that delivery for me. Wait a second. That was Bernadetta. But it couldn't have been. She spoke so normally. She didn't act frightened at all. In fact, she was quite friendly. Ouch! Oh, yes, it still hurts when I pinch my cheek, so I'm not dreaming. I'm glad the ordeal's done with, but now I feel terribly confused and a little worried. Meek little Bernadetta, what have they done to you? There she is, and she seems to be alone. Now's my chance. Bernadetta, hello! May I ask you something?
What? Me? I've seen nothing! I wasn't even there! You have no proof! And even if I was there, it's not a crime to find people's hobbies fascinating! I'll forget everything! I'll never tell a soul where I found them or what they were wearing or any of it!
Hold on. Please calm down. It's just me.
Huh? Oh, it's you, Eloise. What a relief.
That's right. Your denials really piqued my curiosity, but I'm glad you've calmed down.
Did you want to talk to me about something?
I did. Listen. You're always so skittish. Just now, for example. But when you saw it was me, you were fine. Why is that? It's been on my mind since I delivered that package. You don't seem scared of me at all.
Were you hoping I would be?
What? Oh, no, certainly not. I was just making an observation.
Well, I guess it's because you remind me of my uncle. He's the only one in my family who's ever been kind to me, and he's the only man I can talk to normally. Actually, I'm fine with the professor too, so I guess that's not completely true anymore. My uncle and I never did talk that much, but we didn't need to. We just understood each other. Anyway, you really remind me of him, so talking to you feels comfortable.
Ah, so that's why. At last the mystery's solved. Your uncle and I must be quite alike. Is it my face, my physique?
Kind of, but I think it's more your personality.
My personality?
Yeah, you're always so bright, cheerful, and gentle. You put people at ease.
Well, I'm honored to hear you say so. I'd like to meet this uncle of yours. He sounds like a genial fellow. Whereabouts does he live?
Oh, my uncle? I just remembered something. I have to go. I finally have a day all on my own. A day inside my room. At last I feel as free as a bird that's flown.
Bernadetta, do you have a moment?
I wasn't looking at their hats, I swear! And if I was, I wouldn't say a word about them. Not even if you tortured me. Mercy, please! I can keep a secret honest!
Hold on! It's me, Eloise. Calm down.
Huh? Oh, Eloise! I was sure you... never mind.
I can't help but wonder about these hats you were looking at. But I'll set that aside for now. I wanted to apologize for being insensitive. I can't believe I trampled on your emotions like that.
Huh? Was there something you did? I don't remember anything.
About your dear uncle. It never crossed my mind that he might have passed away.
Oh, that. Don't worry about it.
But it clearly upset you. I can't even express how guilty I feel about opening an old wound like that. I'm so sorry.
Hey, it's okay. You're reminding me of him even now. And it's completely fine. I'm glad we talked about it.
Is that so? Well then, why did you look so sad when I mentioned him?
The truth is, I realized I hadn't visited my uncle's grave in a long time. With me not showing up for so long, I imagined him being worried about me.
I see. He must have been quite dear to you.
Hey, that gives me a great idea. Why don't we go see my uncle together sometime?
You want me to visit your uncle's grave, but I don't have any connection with him.
Sure you do. You're connected by me.
I didn't think of that. All right then, I accept. If you don't mind my tagging along, I'll gladly accompany you.
Great! Thanks, Uncle... thanks, Alois.
Alois!
Ah! Who goes there? Oh, Petra, it's you. You appeared out of nowhere.
I have a question to be asking you.
Sure, I don't mind. I'll answer your question.
You are always surrounded by people. When you speak, they smile. I feel envy. I want to know the secret to having a happy conversation.
Ah, you need a lesson on breaking the ice. That's a slippery subject, but I bet we can crack it. Now, let's see. Well, the crucial thing is to start conversations. Be proactive about saying hello. Ask questions. Also, it might help to stop sneaking up on people.
Start conversations. Stop sneaking. I am understanding. Is there more?
You can always try throwing in a joke to lighten the mood. The trick is to keep trying so you get practice. Put your best foot forward. And try not to put it in your mouth.
What are you saying? Why are you laughing?
Oh, I just made a little joke.
A joke? Can you give me more explanation?
Put your best foot forward. That's an expression people say that means try as hard as you can. And putting your foot in your mouth doesn't really mean what it sounds like. When you put your foot in your mouth, you are saying something rude without meaning to. And so... what am I going on about? There's nothing worse than trying to explain a joke. Petra, you've gone awfully quiet. I suppose you've lost faith in me as a conversation tutor.
You are playing with your words. We do such things in Brigid, too. In Fodlan, you have a strange way of playing with a word's meaning. I am admiring of it.
You admire me? Oh, Petra, no need to say kind things out of pity. You didn't hurt my feelings.
Am I hurting them?
If you were sincerely complimenting me, then no. To think, you just started learning how to chit-chat, and you've already got a silver tongue. You really put your money where your mouth is.
More laughing. This must be a complex technique for word playing.
I've shared a fair number of jokes with Petra by now, though there is a strange shame in having to explain them all in detail. Ah, is that Petra? She's talking to some kids.
Our hunting had great success today.
You're amazing, lady. Did you really catch all those birds?
How do you even get that good at hunting?
You wish to know the secrets?
Yes, please.
Teach us! Teach us!
Hey, Petra, what were you saying just now?
I was asked to tell the secrets of my hunting.
Oh, wait, are you going to try using...
Training is the most important for hunting. You can start by breaking the ice. Huh?
Wait, I think you mean breaking the ice. You sure broke something there. What I meant was...
That technique was an incredible one. You are the most comedic genius in all of Fodlan.
I don't know if I'd say genius, per se.
I don't really get what they're saying, but it looks like the lady's having fun.
Yeah, she's, a pretty pretty funny lady.
I have been called a funny one. It is all because of your doing, Alois.
They seem more shocked than amused.
I want even more improvement. I wish for you to instruct me all day. Will you be agreeing, Professor Alois?
Petra seems to be headed in a strange direction, but it is her choice. If she starts telling lots of bad jokes, I hope the people of Brigid don't come after me. Not my fault. Mercedes, hello. I have a request for you.
Oh, Alois. What could you possibly need at this hour?
A little birdie told me you're good at telling ghost stories.
I suppose I am.
So it's true. Excellent. I'd like to hear one of your finest ghost stories. Would you be amenable?
Goodness, you want me to share one? Well, certainly. I'm rarely asked to tell ghost stories. Which should I tell? Perhaps the one I heard in the monastery the other day.
Wait a moment.
Is something the matter?
Well, I was only asking whether you'd tell me. The telling itself will have to be another time.
Are you sure? It's no trouble right now.
No, I have to steel myself. I have something important to do.
I see. That's a shame, but I suppose it can't be helped. If you don't mind my asking, why the sudden interest in hearing a ghost story?
Well, you see, ghosts terrify me. But I'm a knight. Someday, somewhere, I may have to deal with one.
A knight who's afraid of ghosts.
Yes, it's quite embarrassing.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. Even knights can't be stoic toward everything. I'm impressed that you're working so hard to face your fear.
Oh, it's nothing, really.
I will tell you my scariest ghost story the next chance I get.
Oh, it needn't be your very scariest. A moderately scary story will suffice. Thank you for taking the time.
The time has come. I have been waiting to curse your soul with this tale of ghostly terror.
You have? Well, excellent. I won't run or hide.
Then we shall proceed. Our story begins when a friend of mine visited a graveyard in eastern Faerghus.
Oh, wait.
Whatever's the matter, Alois? I've barely just begun.
You got to the graveyard part so quickly. No warning at all. I wasn't ready. Ugh, listen to me. What kind of knight am I? Continue, Mercedes. I won't make another peep.
Very well, then. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. My friend went to visit his grandfather's grave, staying the night at a neighboring church. As darkness crept, he awoke to a strange sound. He peered out into the black of night to see a misshapen figure desecrating the graves. He barricaded himself in his room, waiting for the first glimmer of sunlight before fleeing the church. My friend soon learned that the graveyard was built on the ruins of an ancient battlefield. Legend says that the souls of knights who fell during the battle roam freely after dark. He was sure that the misshapen figure he saw was the ghost of a warrior searching for its earthly remains. After his stay at the church, my friend complained of restless nights and an unbearable weight on his chest. His closest friends and family feared a change in his eyes, as though it wasn't him occupying his body. No one knows for certain what happened that night. After years of isolation, his body was found in the very graveyard where it all began. Alois? Did you hear me? I said, in the very graveyard where it all began.
Ah! What happened? Is it over? Oh, I blacked out after the part with the misshapen figure. Oh, I'm so pathetic. I'm a knight. I have to be ready to fight anywhere, even in a spooky graveyard.
I don't think many battles take place in graveyards in the middle of the night. But I suppose it's important to be prepared, isn't it?
Precisely. Please, Mercedes, help me prepare.
Of course. I'm happy to share another spooky story next time.
Is it over?
Yes, that's all there is. You listened all the way to the end.
Oh, Mercedes, thank you. And I didn't cover my ears even once.
There's no need to thank me. You're the one who did all the hard work. You should be proud of yourself. Now you can face any challenge on the battlefield without fear. I had always planned on working in the monastery once the war was over. But seeing knights like you makes me consider joining up.
You want to join the Knights of Seiros?
Helping those in need with the goddess always at my side? I can't think of a better way to live.
I think the Knights of Seiros wouldn't be quite what you expect. As a knight myself, I slew countless foes. I shudder at the memory of my own deeds. The corpses I made, heaped in a pile, would be like a mountain. I suppose that's why I'm so frightened of ghosts. What if they appear before me, seeking revenge? Perhaps it's a silly thing to worry about, but still.
I'm well aware of the nature of a knight's duty, but I no longer have anything to fear. I've been on the battlefield. I've killed my enemies many times.
I see. What would your parents think about you planning to become a knight?
My mother would respect my wishes, but my adoptive father would need to be persuaded.
Before you talk to them, I had better relate some of the darker chapters in the knight's history. It's your turn to listen, Mercedes.
Thank you, Alois. And you should know, I intend to improve my ghost storytelling as well.
Pardon?
If I want to continue helping you, I'll have to seek out much scarier stories to share.
Oh, well, you needn't go to any trouble.
Nonsense! It's no trouble at all. Besides, we have to help each other the best we can.
I suppose that's true. Thank you.
Alois, I was hoping you could tell me some more stories about Captain Jeralt.
You'd like to hear about Gerald's adventures? You seem quite taken with these stories, Leonie.
Can't hurt, can it? All our work for the day is done. So remind me, how did you meet him?
It all feels like ancient history now. You see, the captain was visiting the kingdom of Faerghus.
Uh-huh. Go on.
His previous squire had died from a ghastly plague. Then one day, he came upon me and appointed me his new squire.
At that age, you must have had some real talent and courage to stand out as a future knight.
Oh, no, it wasn't that. I was just an orphan boy living in the monastery. I was a timid little thing.
Really? He didn't choose you for your bravery? What made him choose you then?
My face looked like the dead boys.
What? That's it?
Well, I asked the captain, and that was the only answer he gave me.
Ha! Abrasive to the last. That's Captain Jeralt for you.
Yes. In those early days, I would sometimes wonder whether he was right in the head. When I saw him on the battlefield, though, those concerns were laid to rest. Anyway, I think I hear your professor has been looking for you. You'd better scram.
Oh no, you're right. I'd better go. See you around. Hey, Alois. Tell me another story about Captain Gerald, will you?
I've told you so many. I don't have an endless supply, you know. There is one that comes to mind, however. That time the captain nearly killed me.
What? What did you do?
Well, it wasn't that I had done anything wrong. That wouldn't be much of a story, would it? No. We were at an inn making merry. Suddenly, the other guests began to gather around the captain. They wanted him to put on a show to entertain them with his skills.
Oh, I get it. They figured his aim would be great even while drunk.
That's right. He had a hatchet, and they asked him to hit targets with it.
A hatchet, huh? I guess a dagger would be too easy.
Indeed, indeed. Then the captain tells me, put this apple on your head and stand over there.
Ah, so he could knock it right off, huh?
That was the idea, but the hatchet fell short of my head, nearly striking me square in the chest. If I hadn't gotten out of the way, that inn would have been my grave.
I knew it. That's our captain. So clumsy sometimes.
True. Injuries take their toll on a man's dexterity.
Oh, so that's why? I just remember him saying his hands were no good for finesse.
Well, regardless, a master swordsman, that Captain Gerald. Even with the hatchet, now that I think of it. I never saw him miss in the training yard.
Really? Seems unlike him to miss that apple, then.
Yes, that just dawned on me. Throwing that hatchet, he shouldn't have missed so badly.
Do you think maybe he was secretly angry with you?
I'm not sure. What if the captain was, in fact, trying to kill me?
Ha! No way. He must have known you would dodge the throw in time. Horsing around at the inn, deadly serious on the battlefield. Sounds just like him, doesn't it?
Yes, certainly an eccentric man. Sometimes, Leone, you quite remind me of him.
So that's it. I'm going to be a great mercenary just like Captain Gerald.
Ha! You skipped right to the conclusion. That's exactly what Gerald would do.
I know. I picked that up from him, too.
That might not be the finest trait of his to emulate. In the end, if you want to join the Knights of Ceres, it comes down to combat skill. Regardless, I'm happy to hear you say all this.
Why's that?
I've strived to become a knight at the level of Captain Gerald. But I'm an old man. I've come to accept that I will never be his match.
No, don't say that. You can't give up.
No, it's quite all right. I know myself and what I'm capable of. But you're still young. Youth is a weapon of the utmost power. Infinite possibility. We are both inspired by Captain Gerald. So I hereby bequeath to you my lofty ambitions.
That's... wow. I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
No need to cry, Leone. I'm relieved. My dream is in good hands with you. Captain Gerald is looking down proudly on you, I'm sure. Will you carry on his legacy?
Of course I will. Definitely.
Leone, do you remember the story I told you once about what happened at the inn?
The hatchet throwing? Sure, I remember. Why?
Gerald ran up quite a tab with all his drinking, and he left without paying. Now his debt is due. And, as you have declared that you'll carry on his legacy, you see where I'm going with this.
Wait, what? That's got nothing to do with me.
Nothing to do with me either. I don't drink. Even so, all this time, I've been paying it back little by little. And it's not just that one place. He owes money in towns all over Fodlan. I haven't been able to step into a tavern anywhere without being badgered for payment. Ugh, so exhausting. But now, I can say that the debts are for you to cover. You're still young, so I'm sure you'll manage in time. Thank you, Leonie!
Hold on, that's a joke, right? Hey, get back here! Take your lofty ambitions back! I don't want your stupid debts!
My, look at the time. I really should retire for the evening.
Professor!
Oh my, who's there? Alois? Well now, wherever did you come from?
I came in through the door.
Came through the... Try doing so with a bit less volume in the future. Now then, why are you visiting at such a late hour?
I'm looking to enlist the services of a magic wielder. I thought you might be the man for the job.
You're a knight, Alois. Why would I teach you magic?
You were a teacher, weren't you?
Perhaps you should ask one of your friends already trained in the magical arts. I am tired and would very much like to turn in for the evening.
Slow down there. I heard a rumor you were looking for novice magic users. Did I hear wrong, or am I just an unsuitable student? Were you hoping for another young girl instead?
Ah, you heard about that, did you? I'm afraid that was simply for the purpose of my experiments. I had no intention of teaching anyone. Anyway, as I said, I am off to bed. Good night, Alois.
Wait! Hold on, Professor Hanneman. I'm no good at magic, and for a long time I'd been hoping to improve my skills. Some of the other knights look down on me for having no crest and no magical skill. I can't do anything about the crest, but the magic, maybe that's a different story. Please, I want to learn. You've got to help me.
Ah, maybe I'm just a fool who goes soft in the face of someone's hunger for knowledge. I will help you. I cannot teach you any spells, but I can do my best to try and improve your magical affinity. Will that be enough?
Of course! How marvelous! I look forward to training with you then.
Very well. We will see what we can do. For now, I am off to bed, and you should do the same.
Professor Hanneman, what do you think of my progress so far?
To be blunt, you are still struggling more than I would expect.
Ah, I see. I suppose I need to give it a little more of that Alois oomph.
How does someone remain so upbeat when they are accomplishing, well, absolutely nothing?
Come again? I didn't quite catch that.
Just jabbering to myself. Pay me no mind.
All right. I've been wondering, why did you agree to train me in the first place? When I told everyone you were teaching me, they could hardly believe it.
Well, if I'm completely honest, you're less of a student and more of an experiment. You have no crest, but you might be able to learn magic, despite our early results. And the potential magical ability of those who lack a crest is precisely what I hope to research.
That's a surprise. A crest scholar researching people without crests?
When studying crests, it is also important to understand the effects of their absence. After all, the very reason for all of my research is to grant the power of a crest to anyone who desires it. If it is in fact possible to increase the magical potential of people lacking a crest, then I find myself one step closer to my goal. Hence, my experiments with you are quite valuable to my research.
Oh, that's wonderful! What a great man you are, Professor Hanneman. Truly a man among men. Why, if I could prove it's possible to use magic without a crest, what an honor that would be! Oh, please, use me as you see fit. I won't let you down, I promise.
Could you express your enthusiasm more quietly? And if at any point you wish to discontinue...
Oh no, I'm ready to go. Let's make a breakthrough. Come on, Hanneman. You should be shouting too. A bright future awaits.
No. Shouts and screams are detrimental to scholarly research, and to my ears.
Oh, I meant to tell you, I have some friends who struggle with magic as well. I'll ask them to help. Perhaps if we all chip in, we can make your dream a reality. Onward!
Alois! Forget it. That man never slows down. But I suppose I can appreciate why some are drawn to his exuberance.
Alois, what a pleasant surprise. Would you care to join me?
Ah, perfect. I was just looking for someone to dine with. Let's raid the dining hall, shall we?
My goodness, but you're in a good mood.
Manuela, I have some news. I received a letter from my wife today.
Oh?
My daughter just picked up a new skill. Can you guess what it might be?
Singing? Dancing? I have no idea what parents teach their kids, or why they even have children at all. Still, give me a hint. Fishing? Bricklaying? Cooking?
That's right! Spot on as always. My wife is teaching her the basics.
The basics of which?
Next time I'm home, my daughter will be able to cook me all my favorite meals. What a lucky father I am. Is any father in the world luckier than I?
I don't know. And I don't care to know.
My wife greeting me at the door. My daughter's nervous face as she sets the meal on the table. Oh, I'm so excited I bet I won't even be able to taste the food as I devour it.
Wouldn't your daughter appreciate it more if you took the time to savor?
Then I'll say, how delicious! That was the second best meal I've ever had.
Not first best? Shouldn't you encourage her?
Mommy's cooking is the best, but you're a close runner-up, darling.
Why would you say?
Oh, Daddy, I'm so happy you liked it, she'll say, as she embraces me, a big smile on her little face. Ah, what could make a man happier?
You've forgotten I'm here, haven't you? Oh, all I wanted was a dinner companion. What did I do to deserve this?
Manuela, there's something I must discuss with you.
Alois, hello. You're looking more serious than usual. Is everything okay?
I'm in dire straits. Can you help me think of a gift for my daughter? Her birthday's just around the corner, and I can't think of anything to send her. Frankly, though I've sent her some wonderful gifts over the years, she never seems too excited about them. So, this year, I want to send her something special. Something that she'll gush about.
I wouldn't know the first thing about buying a gift for a child, never having had one myself. Now, I must ask you to leave the infirmary. I need to make room for sick and injured patients, who I am sure will arrive at any moment.
Oh, please, have a heart! Can't you help me at all? This is an emergency! I've been racking my brain. I have no idea what she might like, and time's running out. I thought that a young woman such as yourself might be able to help.
Young? Did you just call me? Could you repeat that, please?
Oh, of course. Anything for a young, charming beauty such as yourself. I can think of none worthier of that description.
Well, your quite astute observations have inspired me. So, let's discuss your daughter's birthday gift.
Oh, thank you. In that case, will you come shopping with me when you're done for the day?
Very well. Now, let's begin with the simplest question. What does your daughter enjoy? What kind of gifts have you given her for previous birthdays?
Well, for the past few years, I've been sending her ancient coins.
Excuse me?
Coins, I said, from ancient civilizations. I've been diligently collecting them and passing them on. They're precious and historically significant. The makings of a great gift, don't you think? Is something wrong? Oh, you don't think an ancient coin is much of a present, I take it?
I'm sure that for the right person, such a gift would be exquisite. You know what, Alois? Don't you fret. I'll think of something that will make your daughter happy and make up for all of your other gifts.
I can't express enough how grateful I am for your help with my daughter. She was over the moon about the gift you chose.
Oh, wonderful. I would have expected no less after the effort I put into finding the perfect gift.
I even received a thank you letter from her. Would you care to read it?
I shouldn't be reading your personal letters, Alois.
Don't worry. Look who it's addressed to.
Yes, I see you here, and to the person who selected my gift?
That's my daughter for you. Perceptive. She can see right through my little schemes.
It wouldn't take a genius to figure it out after being sent dirty coins for so many years. Anyway, I guess that means I can carry on reading. Oh, that's a special girl you've got there. Your daughter really cares about you.
She does, doesn't she? That reminds me of when she was younger. She always used to...
I'm gonna cut you off, Alois. I don't have time for a story right now.
Very well, another time. But I would still like to show my appreciation. A knight never takes kindness for granted. What can I do for you?
Oh, there's a mountain of things I want, but nothing I can ask you to do. Reading your daughter's heartwarming letter was more than enough. I didn't help you out so I could have a knight owe me a favor. I just wanted to help a friend.
In that case, I hope my words of gratitude will suffice as repayment. I am truly thankful for your help this time, and the next.
I'm sorry, what do you mean, the next?
Well, my wife's birthday is coming up. So, of course, I'm going to need all the help I can get from my gift selection advisor.
Don't push your luck, pal. Alois, I'll never understand how someone like you can find love, yet I'm still alone.
Aha! Finally! Nothing? I could have sworn I felt a bite. Regardless, I shall persist!
Alois, you shouted. Is all well?
Why, if it isn't Gilbert. Everything's splendid. I am fishing, as you can see.
Yet you were also raising your voice, which is not conducive to fishing.
Well, a fish escaped, so I started shouting. See, they're biting all right. I think I'm reeling them in too slowly. Ho-ho! Another! Nothing again? Why do these darn things elude me? I've been at it since yesterday. Every time I feel a pull on my line, the fish escapes.
If I may, Alois, a bit of advice. You lifted the rod as soon as the fish bit.
Well, yes, of course I did. That way the fish has less time to escape.
No, it is the very reason the fish escapes. The fish in this moat know to nibble the bait first.
They check if it is safe before biting in earnest. Allow the first pull of the line. Then, when the second pull comes, reel in your prey.
I've been reeling too quickly. Maybe that's why the little flipper-flappers have been getting away. You seem to know your stuff, Gilbert. Do you fancy yourself an angler?
In fairness, I am more a theorist than fisherman. I just happen to know some things about this location.
Ah, is that so? Well, I'm glad to have met a fellow enthusiast. I fish quite often, although I catch fish quite rarely. Regardless, color me impressed. A master of arms, but also a master of the fishing rod.
I am honored by your compliments, and I believe you could achieve mastery if you attend to the basics. With your permission, I might accompany you on a fishing expedition. Perhaps offer more pointers, if I may.
Oh, splendid! You shall be my second fishing mentor. My rise in skill will be astronomical. How goes it, Gilbert?
Sir Alois, have you also come to fish? If I am in your way, you need but say so.
Oh, no, I was passing by. Please, carry on. Hold on. You haven't caught a single fish yet. Are you feeling unwell?
No, it is nothing of the sort. I am not here to catch a fish today.
So you're fishing, but not in hopes of catching a fish. How unusual. Oh, I see. You're a vegetarian.
No. I am using this time to examine my past deeds. When I am fishing, the world fades, and I am left alone with myself.
That is,
Perhaps the correct way to fish is the way you do, Alois. Simply for the pleasure. I deeply regret I am unable to be the angling companion you desire.
No need, Gilbert. A thought occurs to me.
And what might that be?
It was Captain Gerald who first taught me how to fish. We had spare time between missions, and he said it was the perfect hobby.
Is that so?
He was always looking out on the water as though lost in thought. Perhaps he wasn't fishing to catch fish either. Perhaps he was facing something within himself, silently struggling with his thoughts and hiding the struggle from me and everyone else.
We cannot know the minds of the departed. Therefore, we wrestle with their ghosts.
Yes, that's true. Very well. I will join you today after all. Please teach me this art of fishing without fishing. I think it would do me some good to gaze on the water and think fondly about my old mentor.
Of course. It would be my pleasure.
Hey, Alois. Looks like you're done for the day. Care to join me in the dining hall?
Ah, Catherine. How could I refuse?
Nothing like a good drink. I feel better already. The grub's not bad either. This is the perfect way to end a long day of work.
I couldn't agree more. It feels like a weight's been lifted from my shoulders. It's at times like this, when worldly worries fall away, that I can really live in the moment. It's intoxicating.
Worldly worries, live in the moment. Look who's suddenly waxing poetic. Wait, you feel intoxicated before you've had a drop of booze? Talk about a lightweight.
Hello! Just the man I was looking for.
Ah, yes. Were you the fellow selling ancient coins?
Yes, sir. Since our meeting at the antique shop yesterday, I got my hands on something new. Here we are. Look at this magnificent coin. Do you see the engraving? It's the crest of House Karen, one of the kingdom's most prominent noble families. It's an exceptionally rare piece, commissioned by a hero 1,000 years ago.
By a hero? 1,000 years ago? I'll take it. How much do I owe you?
For a collector such as yourself, sir, I'm happy to offer it at a discounted price. Let's see, that'll be...
Hold on. Stop trying to swindle my friend. You're claiming a hero from House Karen had their crest engraved on this coin. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Tell me, as a collector of antiques, are you familiar with this piece? It's a legendary sword.
Ma'am, please, keep your nose out of my... What? Is that Thunderbrand? That's not possible. It couldn't be.
You are familiar with it. Excellent. Perhaps you know how cleanly it slices through liars and cheats.
Ah!
Ah! You're saying that whole story was a lie?
I thought it was obvious.
You know, Catherine, you really saved my hide. If not for you, I would have bought that phony coin. So I just wanted to say, money thanks. Really, I can't begin to express my gratitude.
There's no need to thank me, Alois. It was nothing. But I am a little worried about you. You just immediately believed what he was saying. You're way too trusting. I wish you'd be a little more skeptical about people, that's all.
Yes, you make a good point. I'll try to be more cautious from now on.
Excuse me, sir. I'm terribly sorry to interrupt.
Good day, ma'am. Do you need something?
I'm afraid so. You see, I'm a humble traveler, and a pickpocket stole all my money. I don't have enough to get home, and I have nowhere to sleep tonight. Please, sir, spare a little money to help me.
Oh, I'm so sorry about your troubles. I don't have much on me, but here.
Alois, no, not so fast! You there, traveler. Tell me your name. I'd like to take an official statement from you so that we can investigate this theft. Once we ascertain exactly what happened, then we will lend you some money. How does that sound? And she's gone.
What? You don't mean she was trying to...
Yes, she was. It's a common trick for cheats to pull. They pluck at your heartstrings so that you'll give them your money. You just said you'd be more careful, too. You really are an easy mark, Alois.
Oh, how embarrassing.
Why are you so quick to trust people?
I've always believed that to earn others' trust, you have to be trusting.
You're taking that philosophy a bit too far. Come on, just one, please. I'll pay for it next time.
No can do. Do you have any idea how much is on your tab? More than you're worth is my bet.
Ugh, it's been a long day. I just need a little drink.
So long as my pocket stays empty, your glass stays empty. Don't cross me.
I couldn't help but overhear. Hello, Anna. How much does she owe?
Hi there, Alois. Are you asking because you intend to pay this lady's tab? I can't even begin to understand that level of that level of kindness.
Alois, what are you doing?
I'm in your debt, Catherine. You've saved me countless times. Besides, you warned me about those scams. You kept me from getting cheated out of my money. So I'll take care of this. How much does she owe?
Thanks, Alois. Are you sure you don't regret doing that?
Of course I don't. Think nothing of it. I used to pay old Gerald's tabs all the time. I'd have been happy to buy you a drink, you know.
Nah, that's generous of you, but I couldn't accept. You're a good guy, Alois, you know that? Not only paying my tab, but offering to buy me a drink, too.
Gerald would have kept drinking. He was certainly shameless about it.
Did he ever pay you back for bailing him out?
Sometimes. Honestly, off the battlefield, he was disorganized about everything.
That sounds like him. And to be honest, well, sounds like you too. You're probably not bothered when it comes to my debt, but I want you to know I'll pay it back.
I appreciate that, but there's no rush. I trust you. You're a colleague, a friend. And that's true whether or not you pay me back.
You're hopeless. But you know what, Alois? That's how I like you. Next time a con artist tries to bilk you, I'll be sure to save your backside. Mission accomplished. Let's pack up and get out of here.
Yes. Let's.
What's wrong? You don't seem like your usual self.
Oh, I'm still the same old Alois. Come on, let's head back before nightfall.
Don't try to hide it. You're making it obvious.
Shamir, can I ask you a stupid question?
That depends on how stupid it is.
You're a skilled sniper. You've completed countless missions. And in the process, you've taken countless lives.
Correct. And your point?
After a mission, do you ever think about the people you killed?
Never.
I see. Well, I guess that's the best way, huh? There's no point dwelling on it.
After all the lives you've taken, why worry about it now?
I've got everything packed up. I'm going to head back now. You should head home as well, before it gets too dark.
What a tiresome man. Alois.
Ah! A ghost! I'm sorry! Oh, forgive me, please forgive me!
Calm down. It's just me.
That voice, it's... Shamir? Ah! It's Shamir. Whew, you frightened me. My heart was beating so hard I thought it would burst out my nose.
Your heart's in your chest, not your head.
Can you try not to be so stealthy when you're approaching a fellow knight?
Your reaction was excessive. Are you afraid of ghosts?
I suppose there's no point in hiding it. I'm terrified of them.
Terrified? Of ghosts? I didn't mean to pry. There's no need to...
No, I want to get it off my chest. That time when we were on our way back from a mission, do you remember what I asked you?
You asked if I ever think about the people I've killed.
Yes. You said you never do, but me, I can't go a day without thinking about them. The feel of my weapon cutting through them, their twisted faces, their cries of pain, and that awful scent of blood. I was carrying out my duties, but that doesn't make it easier for me to forget. And the dead haven't forgotten me either. Their hatred, their resentment, their curses. One day, the spirits will set upon me for revenge. Ooh!
I apologize for striking you, but it had to be done. Have you calmed down?
Yes, thanks. I needed that.
I'm surprised someone like you managed to become a knight. Or perhaps that's why you became one.
Listen, Shamir, I want to apologize for the conversation we had. I really embarrassed myself.
No need to apologize. I was not bothered.
I just want to make one thing clear. I don't resent my missions as a knight. I will complete any mission I'm told to carry out.
I know. In fact, you are the most loyal knight I have fought beside. You are no coward.
I think I am a coward, actually. Every night I fret about ghosts that don't really exist. I wish I could be as strong as you are. The fact is, I'm weak. There's nothing I can do to change it.
You should not mistake your kindness for weakness. You contemplate the lives you have taken because you care, even when the emotions may be frivolous. That is something I am not capable of. I am not the only one who has noticed. Everyone else sees your kindness and wishes to share in it.
Shamir.
It's okay to hold on to the ghosts of your past. They are a part of who you are. But you cannot let them hold onto you. If you are sad, others will notice and share in that as well.
I see. That makes sense. Optimism. Cheery old Alois, that's me.
He recovered quickly and with surprising energy. Alois has many qualities I could never emulate. His positive and kind nature gives strength to those around him. Even to this Dagdan mercenary trying to find her place in an unfamiliar land.
Shamir! Stop lagging, start legging!
Then again, he has many qualities that I do not wish to emulate.